Welcome to the International Volleyball Academy, where we try to make you good volleyball players. The episodes of our academy build on each other, so hopefully you've seen all the previous ones. In the last episode, we started building the foundation of the challenging activity that is the blocking. We said two important things to get us started. First, that during the block, the body, arms, and hands must be firm. To do this, we showed an exercise. Second, that the hands, starting with the fingers, must immediately penetrate over the net to the other side into the opponent's half of the field.
Initially, we allowed the children to touch the net, because the idea of overlapping the net is more important than strict obedience to the rules in the beginning. Either way, the children block minimally at this stage in their game. We did exercises to help the children understand the arm work when jumping on the block. This is because it's all about coordinating the work of the legs and arms. The whole action is then coordinated with the attacker's arm movement.
In the real game, however, things are a bit different. The blocking player rarely blocks in one place, but usually moves to the block spot in various ways. This is the reason why blocker moves will be our first topic today.
We'll see how the blocker move starts on the center of the Czech national team. Often you can see the players shuffling in their spot, which activates their legs for the subsequent quick move. Then comes the well-known split step, which directly starts the movement to the side. It occurs, as is the case when receiving in the moment before the action, when the player does not yet know which direction he will move.
It is important for training that attacking players use the correct technique with the elbow pulled back, as this is the reference point for the moment of the blocker's jump.
Basically, there are two types of movements: the simpler side step and the more complex overstep or run. We start with the side step, which is used for short distances. One foot steps to the side, the other follows it to the point of bounce off.
In this exercise, after the side step, we again pay attention to the penetration of the arms over the net. It is important for the children to understand that the movement of the bent arms is already happening during the side step. We use the already learned habits from blocking in one place to do this. Moving by, stepping over, or running is more common in the game and happens over a longer distance.
To the left, we start with a step by the left foot, followed by a cross step with the right foot landing on the heel, and it finishes with a step over the turned left toe, ideally landing perpendicular to the net. It's essentially a similar pattern as when spiking. Moving to the right is a bit more difficult because the familiar pattern from the spiking cannot be applied. Here, the feet go in the opposite order: right, left, right. It is more challenging for children, but we know that a good player must be able to move equally well to both sides. Here, we also add repeated jumps to block after the cross step. These and other similar exercises are included in the training of older age categories and even adults.
Next, we include a similar exercise where we block an over ball after the opponent's attack. A player on the other side of the net throws after a run-up, and the blocker moves with the same rhythm of steps but slightly later than the attacker.
We modify the exercise in various ways, but it's crucial to recognize that the final action is the block, not the movement. Therefore, we focus on ensuring that after the movement, there is a perfect extension over the net, with the arms to the other side of the court.
Now it's time to do a real block. This means defending against the ball crossing over the net. We start with an underhand strike. Timing is crucial. The blocking player jumps just as the attacker pulls their elbow back. This timing will apply in real gameplay as well. The reason we attack first from underhand is to avoid the risk of finger injury from striking at real height, as in the game, until the children have automated their blocking movements.
Next comes blocking after the sidestep, and again we emphasize that the backward movement of the elbows is part of the transition. Similarly, we emphasize reaching over the net. Then we move on to hitting from a raised position, which is more similar to conditions in the game.
And now we're at the final stage, blocking after the crossover step. Again, the movement of the arms is part of the transition. Here, it's a bit more challenging coordinatively. This girl has a reverse crossover step, but will manage everything. We can modify the exercises again. The absolute conclusion is repeated blocking after the crossover step.
For training and blocking, it's important that attacking players use the correct technique by pulling their elbow back, as this dictates the timing of the blocker's jump. During blocking transitions, the movement with bent arms backwards occurs during the sidestep. The sequence for the crossover step movement to the left is left, right, left, ideally landing perpendicular to the net. To the right, it's mirrored oppositely, right, left, right. When blocking the ball, we start from underhand, and the blocking player jumps when the attacker pulls their elbow back. We still emphasize reaching over the net. Then we move on to hitting from a raised position, which is more similar to gameplay. Finally, there's repeated blocking after the crossover step.
What can you look forward to next? After blocking, the next logical element of defense is digging. Before we get to that, we need to familiarize the children with the floor, help them overcome their fear of falling, and teach them proper falling techniques to prevent injuries. Only then will we move on to digging hard spikes while falling. Don't worry, it will be fun. See you next week.